Greetings, my fellow exiles. It is the Ash Heritor, and welcome to Path of Exile 2. This is something a little bit different from my channel. I don't normally cover ARPGs, but Path of Exile, the original game, was a rather important game for me. I put a whole lot of time into it. I enjoyed it to all hell. Back in the day, I supported it from basically the closed beta and onwards. Coming back to it, you know, usually once every year for of weeks just to play around, have fun. I will say I was never super good at it. I could get into the end game, get a ways into the end game, but I never got to like the final end game stuff. I was never able to do that. I generally play solo self-bound, or at least just solo. I don't trade, didn't do any of that, so that definitely hampered my advancement and truly getting good in the game. This playthrough that we're going to be doing here is, you know, I just want to make it clear, don't expect like top gameplay from me, because this is going to be a story-based, lore-focused playthrough, which honestly I don't think too many people are going to be doing on YouTube. So hopefully this will be something a little bit different for people that are interested, because this world that's in Path of Exile is pretty cool. It not the antagonist of the first game, but the entity called the Beast in the first game served as a major inspiration for me with the way how it interacts with the world. It served as a major inspiration for me and my own writing. I am an author. I write fantasy and cosmic horror. Path of Exile 1 summed that up pretty well. Good fantasy, cosmic horror combo. So yeah, the Beast was an inspiration for the entity, or an entity, in the novel that I'm writing. Will be my magnum opus once it comes out. More on that some other time, probably. Anyways, let's get started in here now that you all have the idea. This is going to be a slow playthrough. I'm just going to be, you know, looking for clues in the game, looking for lore, just playing the game. Obviously, I'm going to try and do my own build and actually try and get good, but that's not the main focus. If you guys want to give build advice, go for it. I don't mind that. I don't really consider that backseat gaming at all. Just don't spoil the story. Don't spoil the lore. Don't spoil what any of the characters are doing. That's all I ask. All right, now, into Standard League. I'm not good enough to do hardcore, so we're going to do Standard, and we're going to play a witch, obviously. I know a lot of other people are playing witches, and that's all well and cool, but just dark magic. It's my thing. I like it. And you know, the main character in my the book that I'm writing is a bit witch-like. I mean, not actually a witch, but definitely got some witch-like traits. So it's definitely my thing. So we're gonna click on her now. What's kind of interesting is, yeah, you can.
Foul witch!
Yeah.
Your very own coven cast you out for your forbidden pursuits. Your twisted necromancy ends here, at the end of a noose. Speak your last.
Let me turn it up a little. Sorry, guys. So there's whoever the executioner is, or the judge, has a little thing to say about everybody. So let's actually go through and listen to all of them. So we have our witch. That's what we're going to play. But we have the sorceress here.
Sorceress! You were banished by your Akara for experimenting with the elements. Arrogance has led you here, and arrogance keeps you on those gallows. Speak your piece.
So she is part of the, I believe they're called are they the Sakema people? They're the vaguely Middle Eastern slash, honestly, they feel a little bit more Amazigh inspired. People that you encounter in Act 4 of Path of Exile. This guy, he looks Karui. We'll see if he is.
Foundling! It is a pity to see you like this. You arrived on our shores a whipped and broken child. Our people made you strong. How were they repaid? Sedition and lies. Speak now if you choose.
So it's cool. We can glean a little bit of information about who these people are, not only the exiles, but also like who are we all being executed by? I'm not entirely sure. Looking here, we could be in Oriath. Oriath is the Templar state. It's basically a city-state based on an island near the accursed continent of Rayclast. Just so you guys are aware, we're going to go into the geography and, you know, politics of the different factions and cultures as well, as we learn a little bit more. I won't front-load everything, though. Here we have the Ranger.
Ranger! An outcast, lurking among the shadows of the trees like an animal. You murdered one of my soldiers in the name of a filthy thief. Your guilt is clear. Plead for mercy, if you must.
All right. And the mercenary?
Hired hand. Wanted in Oriath, you fled like a coward. Every life has a price, and your crossbow has kept your coin purse full. Here you are judged and found guilty.
So we're not in Oriath. And then lastly, the monk.
Pagan, you failed to liberate your brothers, just as you have failed in poisoning my subjects against me. Call out to your dreamer. Let us see if he answers.
Who's the dreamer? That could be any number of entities. Probably not the beast. The beast is dead. And the death of the beast awoke the old gods, but the hero of Rayclast dealt with all of them. So I really wonder what the new story is going to be. But anyways, which it is. I do not fear death.
Witch, your very own coven cast you out for your forbidden pursuits. Your twisted necromancy ends here, at the end of a noose.
Yeah.
Speak your last.
So, she says, I do not fear death. I am its master. Darkness and the dead are my weapons of war. My enemies will rot from the inside out as my army of corpses tears them screaming limb from limb. So, I'm probably going to not play a Necromancer Witch. It's inevitable that you use Necromancy at the start with witches, at least in PoE 1. It's just really handy early on. It's a kind of a no-brain ability that you don't really need to worry about. I think it's the same. I have played a little bit of the game already. I'll be upfront about that. However, I wasn't looking at lore or doing much exploration. It was just very much getting myself familiar with everything and making sure that the game was running smoothly, which it is running pretty smoothly. Should note, this is early access, so not all features are present. There will also be 6 more classes available at full launch, which is pretty cool. And it'll be a 6-act game. Right now, we'll only have 3. So my plan is to go through all 3 acts of the game, and then we'll see from there with how this playthrough progresses. So drop this video a like if you want to see this playthrough, and yeah, subscribe if you're new here. All right, so we're gonna come up with a name. Melanthe. I just had to come up with that on the spot. Unfortunately, PoE 2 has the issue that once a name is taken by someone, it is not available, so that's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. Maybe they should connect names to the actual usernames. I don't know. All right. This one's not taken, so that's nice. Oh, look, we escaped. Wow. And we jump on into the water. So I have no idea where we actually are. I'm presuming we're not in Oriath because of what was said about the mercenary, but I'm not positive on that. Okay, I will take mouse movement, of course.
I will not join the dead today.
A wayfish waterlogged witch washed up on Rayclast. Nice little poem from Bestel in PoE 1. So we have a guy here sitting up against the trees, injured with a zombie. This is exactly how Path of Exile 1 started, and it definitely continues there. There's some sort of crab spider thing. Let's talk to him.
See another living soul. The miller went off to warn Clearfell about a strange sickness plaguing our men. I was fixing to go after him, till that bloody thing got to me first. Now, all those who drowned in the flooding, suddenly they ain't so dead no more. I would appreciate it if you could...
Oh, nice. Okay.
Reach Clearfell. Find the miller.
Yeah, we'll try and find the miller, so...
Dead rise again. Oh, I'm going to like it here.
So, once again, the witch sounding very snarky, much like she did in PoE 1. I don't think it's the same character. I believe, these are different characters. I have no idea what the timeline is in comparison to the first game, but, I'm presuming it's taking place sometime after the events of Game 1. So we're gonna head through here. Have my little chaos wand. So the first thing I did, you'll note, is I switched out the main attack key from the first mouse button to that being a movement key. That is, I think, a fairly common practice amongst ARPG players to do that, because you don't want to accidentally attack when you really need to move. So we just got ourselves a flask. We already have flasks, so this is different than in the first game. In the first game, you had 5 flask slots, and now you only get 1 of each type. But there's these 3 things, so maybe they'll unlock to get new flasks. I honestly have no idea. I didn't get far, so guess we'll see. Maybe you have to unlock the remaining flask slots, which I think is fine if they do that. So we'll grab whatever that's going to be. So for now, it's very simple. We just have our chaos bolts here, just a little single target wand specific ability, but we're going to pick up this rattling scepter. Throw that in here, which is, so this comes with 100 spirit and grants the skill Summon Level 1 Skeleton Warrior. This happens automatically. Summoning abilities happen automatically, which is pretty cool. You don't have to sit there and worry about it. So again, I'm going to actually look around the area. We're going to try and fill out all the maps, and I don't know if I'll clear the maps, every single one of them, but I certainly want to explore all of them and make sure that I'm not missing anything. I didn't do that when I went through the game just to test it. I only got like a few zones in, so don't worry. I don't know much of what's going on. So we have a rusted cuirass here. This is going to give armor 45. Armor is one of the 3 defensive stats that you can get from gear pieces. So you have armor, which is going to reduce physical damage suffered by a certain amount, and then evasion is another one, which basically gives a chance to dodge physical damage. And then there's, I'm not sure, evasion might work against other damage types too. But then there's energy shield, which is basically going to grant an extra health pool that you can draw from. It recharges pretty quickly, and it recharges on its own. So it doesn't reduce damage in any way or allow you to dodge anything. It just gives you like an extra buffer. But for now, we have armor. We're just going to take what we can get. It looks gritty. Love it. We'll love the gritty look. Don't need any of this overly flashy stuff at the moment. Sure, we'll find some of that later. But I like the more grounded look when it comes to fantasy aesthetics. We're going to quickly grab what's in here. Unearth. This is a new skill. So, Unearth. It is costs us 8 mana, so this is a mana skill. The Chaos Bolt doesn't cost mana, it's just an attack ability. Has a little, almost 1 second casting time. Raises spikes of bone from the earth in front of you, damaging enemies. The bones of corpses in the area are ripped out and reassembled into short-lived bone construct minions that fight for you, which is pretty awesome. So you can have up to 8 constructs at a time, and the constructs last for 12 seconds. So we're going to slot that into a skill slot, so you don't put skills into items anymore like you did in PoE 1. You now have a bar here. Not sure how I feel about that yet. I kind of liked the whole slotting the items, but I will admit it was kind of annoying. Here it seems like you just get 5 support gem slots for each skill, and you can even slot in the basic attacks. That's cool. Yeah, then you gotta plug this in. I'm going to throw this into my mouse 5 button. So what you can do now with this ability is, I'll just demonstrate it on this guy. Use it here, and we summon these little gnarly-looking bone scorpion things, which look pretty awesome. They don't last long at all, like they'll collapse before you reach enemies, but if you're in the middle of a clusterfuck, it's pretty good. We have our first level up. So let me introduce to you the second rendition of what is lovingly called Skildrasil, because this is not a skill tree, this is like the skill world tree. It's pretty big, looks very complicated, and it is fairly complicated. I think they've simplified it a bit, from what I know of it, but we're just going to go in. As I understand it, respecking is a hell of a lot easier in Path of Exile 2, thank you know, thank the Beast for that. Not Mr. Beast, we don't thank him, but thank the Beast from Path of Exile 1. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna do as much deliberation right now, so we're just gonna grab some energy shield. Defenses are important. You die very fast in Path of Exile 1. I can only assume Path of Exile 2 is going to keep with the same. So we're going to take some defense abilities. Besides, I don't plan on using minions in the long term. I'll use them now because they're free and I don't have to invest in them. So waypoints automatically, or checkpoints, that's a new thing. They automatically activate, which is nice. We're going to head this way. Just explore. I have no idea if there's any secrets or little lore bits in the starting zone. Owie. So, whoever's been, like, selling kinetic weapons to the crustaceans in video games really needs to stop. This is getting out of hand. First we had the crayfish in Elden Ring. And now we have, like, incendiary shotgun crabs in Path of Exile 2. So, yeah, whoever's been selling kinetic weapons to crustaceans, I would prefer it if you were to tone it down a little bit. Like, I understand crustaceans want to have their kinetic weapons just the same as everyone else, but this is too much. So, this ability does do a bit of damage. Okay, so we just got an orb. I'll explain that in just a moment. This is going to be a fairly beginner-friendly playthrough, by the way. If you're, you know, an advanced PoE player, I don't know if you're going to find much in this playthrough, unless you are interested in the lore. Here, have some more, yeah, go get him. Okay, so we've got everything there. So, this is an orb. This is one of the, in the original game, these were the only currency you had, were various orbs. Now there's gold, so that is a more conventional currency, but I'm glad they've also kept the orbs, and it seems like the orbs are now mostly just used for their actual purpose, because in the original game they had a purpose, a practical thing you can do with them, but then they sort of also functioned as the main currency in the game, which was cool. I'm not sure how I feel about gold being in the game. We'll see. Maybe it's a nice quality of life, maybe it dumbs it down a little bit, we'll see. But this will, basically you can use it on a, just a white common item and turn it into a magic item. So I could do that with my wand. And I might do that, because that's gonna, owie, I am taking damage, I gotta use a flask. So flasks recharge, which is nice. I'm actually going to use this on my wand right now. Actually, I'm gonna use it on the rattling scepter instead. So this rattling scepter now gives me 7 strength, which is the least useful stat for me, but it is what it is. There's 3 stats, strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Each one will affect various damage types, various skills and abilities. They will also affect... Ah, there's the Miller. First boss fight. Let me remove my map from the screen. Sorry, I'll try not to use that very often. So you have a dodge. Yeah, already ahead of you. Wow, I dodged the wrong way, but it's fine. So in PoE 1, we had to deal with Hillock. Now we get to deal with the Bloated Miller. He is a bit harder than Hillock. Hillock was rather easy. Okay, let's kill some of these guys, because then we can, A, recharge our flasks, because that's how you recharge flasks. Get it by killing enemies. Ouchies. Okay, and that's also the reason why I wanted to kill them. Ow. we should have this. Whew, narrow. Okay, let's take some of these out. Ow. Sorry, I'm not very good at the dodging right now, because I'm trying to line up my unearths so that I can get more of these minions, because they'll do the damage for me right now.
Impressive.
Alright.
Little acuity. Dismal.
Alright, get some gold, some other stuff. We have an unidentified tattered robe, so this is something that I want. This is going to give me energy shield, and I want to focus on energy shield as my main defense. You can functionally focus on 2 defenses. It's a little bit trickier to do. But you're better off usually focusing on just one. At least in the original game. I don't know if that's changed in the new one. So, let's go into this encampment here. The Clearfell encampment.
Is this all that remains?
Renly. Sup, Renly. You should avoid red witches and demonic shadow baby assassins. Also, stay away from Westeros. It won't end well for you.
Renly's the name. You're skilled with the violence.
The violence.
What you did out there in the riverbanks is any sign. Another refugee from the Count's justice, I take it.
He's got
no fear. This place is something of a hideaway for many of us now, and we could sorely use your skills in these dark times.
All right.
I'll smith for you what I can, if you're willing to bend your violence toward our defense.
Sounds a bit like Andre from Dark Souls. An uncut skill gem. So this is a new way of doing the skill gems, which I like a lot.
At least a particular dark power stalking us out in the felling.
Felling.
It moves unseen under the dirt and attacks without warning. We can't leave the walls to find food, and I've been unable to corner and slay the beast myself.
So some sort of subterranean beast. I'll be upfront, I know what it is already. Probably could have guessed it, though, from the original game, regardless of me knowing it, because I've already beat that boss in my just trial of the game. It is, well, I'll show you what it is once it gets there. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I like his voice.
Now, if you could channel your violence against this devourer,
Okay.
as Finn calls it, we'd be indebted to you.
He says what it is. So I skipped through all of the dialogue when I went through it originally, just so that I wouldn't spoil myself. So we'll get a support gem and some more gold if we do this. I do have a bit of gold already from selling stuff with my other character. I guess gold is universal, so whatever.
Stick to the carrots.
It's not a big advantage.
Hopefully he survives.
Very snarky. Okay, so uncut skill gems are now how you get your skill gems, which is pretty cool because you can just pick what you get. So this is going to open up the skill window. I believe this is all of the active skills that are currently in the game, and it's arranged into the different types. Not all of them are implemented yet, so we don't have daggers yet, we don't have swords yet, or axes. Shame, because these are, or spears, because these are the weapons I would want to use if I was actually going to play a martial character of any time, so I'll probably have to wait on those. Same with flails. But, you know, we got our elemental and our occult, and we're going to go full occult, and we're going to go with contagion. So our options are skeleton warrior. We already can summon skeleton warriors from our scepter. However, that summon is not very good. It is just level 1, and these skill gems can level up. That scepter's summon will not level up. So, and they stack. So if you have the one from the scepter and you get this skill, you'll have 4 skeleton warriors rather than 2. So it is nice to take that. Skeleton sniper is just summons a single skeleton archer, and you can command it to attack with a gas arrow, which is pretty cool. On Earth, we already have, so we can't get that again. However, if we get level 2 skill gems, we will be able to upgrade on Earth, or whatever else we get. But I'm going to take Contagion. So, afflicts a single enemy with a debuff that deals chaos damage over time. If the enemy dies while affected by Contagion, it and all other chaos damage over time debuffs spread to nearby enemies and refresh their durations. Reanimating or detonating a corpse affected by Contagion will cause the minion or explosion to spread Contagion on hit. It's just awesome. It doesn't do much at the start, but there's some combos, at least that were in the base game, and yep, alright, it's here. Essence Drain and Contagion. Does it work as it did before? I think it does. And it is beautiful. It was beautiful in the first game. I'm hoping it's beautiful in this one. So, we're gonna take this. I love dots. That is how I generally tend to play games. Back when I played WoW, like 200 years ago, I was usually a warlock. So we'll throw this into our hotbar. I'll put that in the middle mouse button, make it readily accessible, easy to use here. Let me close my WhatsApp web so that you guys don't get pestered by things. Let's talk to all of the characters. Finn.
Welcome, violent stranger. I am Finn, and I shall be your humble provider of useful and diverse objects. That are most definitely not scroungel stolen.
Mate, if you think my witch cares how you got
I
it.
can get it.
Okay.
You just let me know.
He's cool. He's got an eye scar, some earrings. Looks very sketchy.
This is a wooden tomb, if you care to see it objectively. We're not quite dead yet, but food supply is dwindling. And I've seen what hunger can make a man do. The monsters out there are not the ones that will get us in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, Renly's all right. Only man in the village that didn't run me out of town whenever he saw me. Well, maybe it's because he didn't have a daughter to protect.
All right.
Feeling lucky?
I'm gonna sell this.
Guess I can help move that for you.
There doesn't seem to be any difference between the life flasks. Maybe you can... No, you can't even swap them out. I don't know what the point of getting another lesser life flask is, unless you accidentally sell your first one. That's, I don't know. That's probably on you. So you can kind of gamble and get items here, which could be fun. We could... I got the money. Wow, rare wand. Okay, we can't use it yet. We gotta be level 3, but I'm holding on to that. That's pretty good. It's gonna increase our chaos damage, our spell... Damn, that is like perfect for one. Okay. Alright. Literally perfect for my build. Wonderful.
He's a devious one.
Ah.
I like him.
Okay. Cool. I like that the character talks. By the way, most of the random characters running around are other players. This is the hub area. Should have mentioned that early on.
How's the clearing?
Yeah, what about Clearfell?
Well, this place was never meant to house this many people, especially not the sick and injured. But there's nowhere else to go. The monsters creeping out of the forest keep us locked within these wooden walls, and the Count's tyranny has made outlaws of everyone here. So nobody's coming to save us.
Yeah.
I don't have the heart to tell the others.
Oop. Sorry, needed to click.
Well, this place, the monsters. I don't have the heart to tell the others I don't see a way to survive this. I put on a brave face, but it's the truth.
Even he's losing hope.
This part of Farrell has been a fair home for many an Esomite generation.
Alright.
The clans didn't always get along, but we had to settle our feuds when the Eternals laid their savage boot upon us.
Yep.
We weren't able to take part in the Bloody Flowers Rebellion. We had our share of conflict with them here. Their ruins run over the top of ours, fighting a silent war in stone.
So, a little bit of history. The Esomites, and I suspected these guys were the Esomites. Again, I hadn't read this. Just because of the names, the environment, and like the, you know, their general appearance. They look very European. They have very Celtic names. The Esomites were a culture, or are a culture, I guess they're still around, that were introduced in PoE 1 as being this, yeah, kind of Celtic-inspired group. Very feudal. Adhering to the old ways, these things called the First Ones is what they were, they worship. And, yeah, they were led by a king named Rigvald. And I believe he instituted he started a war, or either he started the war or the expanding Eternal Empire, which are basically Magicratic Romans. They're all gone now, the Eternals. They had a bit of an event happen to them that changed them a little bit. That's the plot of Path of Exile 1, the first few acts for you. But anyways, the Eternals fought a war with the Esomites, and there's this fucking cool-ass poem that is recited by I believe he was an Esomite character that you encounter who was warped by whatever happened to the Eternals. And let me see if I can remember it. Death came to town, the roaring Esomites wore red, the red of blood, the red of the fray. Death came to town, the crying Esomites wore black, the black of disease, the black of dismay. Death came to town, the silent Esomites wore gray, the gray of twilight, the gray of decay. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
To the cairns.
The Esomites got royally screwed by the Eternals. So, we got them here. Let's see. Here's one more thing to say about the Miller.
It's a shame what happened to old Brannock.
All right.
He was a kind man in life, but I can't say I'll miss the creature he became.
Yeah, he was a bit of a monstrous being.
He tried to batter his way in for 5 full days. Once he rose again, well, We thought we were done for. But then you came along. And I'm glad you did.
This is basically the start of PoE 1. It's really channeling back to that. So we have Una here. Let's talk to her.
Welcome to the camp of the lost, stranger. We survive, but we do not live. I am Una. All this began the night Count Gino took his most loyal men into the Grellwood. After he returned, a madness grew in him.
Okay.
Something happened out there. Please, I beg of you, travel into the forest and begin your search. There must be some clue as to what took place.
I will do that.
I fear this land's sickness will only deepen unless we do something.
Okay, so we got to find the sickness. Travel through through Clearfell to Grellwood. All right, well, let's ask about this place, Clearfell here.
Friendly brings the strength, thin brings the wit, and I'm doing my best to keep spirits raised with my songs.
Okay.
Hope is the only thing we have now, but it's in short supply.
She seems very calm. At least you have chickens. Chickens make everything better. Friendly.
He doubts himself, but I know he will find a way to protect us. He is a good man, and I am thankful for his presence.
Yeah. A bit sketchy.
In ways, he reminds me of my father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a bit sketchy, but he seems like a decent fellow indeed.
Good girl. Surprised she lived.
Okay. You into that, witch?
Yes.
Alright, you don't have anything to say on the others. Okay, so let's quickly... This will restock your flasks. I don't even know if I needed it, but whatever, I did it. There's somebody there. We can't talk to him. I don't know if we will be able to. We got some cows as well, but let's go to Clearfell. So, our first venture out into the unknown after the flooded... I guess we washed up, like, or we fell into a river. I'm not sure, like, when we were being executed, if we, like, crossed a bay or a small sea or whatever. So, there's an enemy over there, a vile hag. These are pretty gnarly. I totally got massacred by one of them when I first started. Oh yeah, I have a new ability. Not very useful when there's only one enemy left, but, okay, so this grants mana drain. What does that do? Can we inspect that? No. So as you can see, we just killed that enemy who had contagion on him, and when he died, it spread the contagion to others. I need to not stand in that, because that does a lot of damage. Okay, the hag has been contagioned. Oh, fuck, there's another one. Alright. Would really like to take one of these out. Alright. There we go. Okay. Once we get enough corpses, everything gets a little easier. Okay, mana flask, some stabs. Nice. Right, the minions spread the contagion. That is so good. How long does that last? I reckon not forever, but let's grab some of these while we head into new territory. Head up here. We'll get a few seconds out of them, hopefully. Fighting? Okay, waypoint, maybe not. Yeah, unfortunate. Okay, the Mud Burrow. This is where we're gonna find the Devourer. We'll go in there in just a sec. Ow! That stuns you. I'm almost dead. You die fast, like I said. My minions are already dead. This isn't Diablo 4. I'll try not to take digs at Diablo 4 too often, but I can't help it. That was a royal disappointment. But the minions in that were like nigh immortal until like endgame, or what passed for endgame, I should say. That is not the case here, and that feels good. Where, you know, you actually need to keep track of them. They will die. Thankfully, you don't have to resummon them yourself, which is nice. So we got some Suede Bracers. This will give me evasion rating. It's not the defense that I'm looking for, but hey, right now, beggars can't be choosers. We'll take what we can get. And some extra armor, also not useful. But we're level 3 now, so let's equip that wand. Can we dual wield? We cannot. Okay, so no more wand slinging. Bit of a shame, actually. Wish you could dual wield. Maybe that's something they'll add in later. Maybe they just don't have it in right now.
A descent into darkness.
Okay, we're heading into the mud burrow.
Have it any other way.
All right, she's into the descending into darkness, and Una apparently. Okay, that went down pretty quick. The better wand is super nice, so we're gonna take some more energy shield here. This is giving passive +10s. This isn't very good, but we're gonna get percentage boosts here, and then we're gonna get a fat percentage boost there, and some more intelligence, which intelligence also, as far as I am aware, let me actually check that. I believe it's C, where we can check what the different stats do. Yeah. Oh, it just grants extra mana. Okay. Dexterity grants accuracy rating as a baseline. And strength grants extra life. Okay. And then they're just prerequisites for a lot of the skills and items that we're going to need later. And then we have our stats here. Yeah, life, energy shield, mana, and then spirit is, so you're basically using spirit when you summon things. It's not like it's used, it's just like there's a spirit pool. So we have 100 spirit pool. If we had the skeleton warriors, not the one that we get from the staff, those are free, but the ones that you actually get from a skill gem, those would use up 40 something of your spirit. So you could functionally get that skill or activate that skill twice. Maybe. Not sure. Ow. Okay, these mud simulacrums just come out of the wall and then slam you. They have a really interesting, like, appearance. There's lots of enemies in this area that just kind of appear, which makes it a little dangerous. Torn gloves, that's energy shield. That is what I want. However, this evasion rating is quite solid, so I'll hold on to that. Okay. Let's get some reanimation going. Oh yeah, look at that. We got some blue enemies. Blue enemies are a little tougher. They'll usually have a specific modifier that'll either make them do more damage of a certain type or have extra defenses or something. They also give more XP and have higher drop chances. Yellow enemies are basically that, but even better. Okay, I really gotta dodge these. So what's cool, you could probably see it on the mud simulacrum, is that if you hover over it, you can actually see their resistances right under their bar. So it says red for lightning, which means they take extra lightning damage, but it looks like they take less damage from fire and frost. I'm doing chaos damage. Chaos damage doesn't give a fuck about your resistances, except for chaos resistance, but that's rare. Not many enemies have that. The problem is the enemies that have it usually have a lot of it, so chaos damage is very all or nothing. But it bypasses everything, including energy shield. Or at least it did in the first game. Maybe it doesn't in this one, but I reckon it does. That was a cool thing about it. So I think the only reliable defense against it is to evade it, if I recall. Feel free to correct me if I say anything gameplay-wise that's wrong, or if I get like a lore assumption from the first game wrong. It's been a long time since I played the first game. I haven't played the latest updates. All right, so we have ourselves an energy circlet. Or a circlet. This will give energy shield, and the enchantment will give some extra life. So that's going to increase our survivability by quite a bit. Like that. Let's take this guy out. And this wand is doing work. Just drop contagion, hit him with the thing, spread the contagion. Profit. Just wait till we get energy drain. That works like I think it does. That's going to be a lot of fun. Makeshift crossbow. I'm just grabbing everything right now. Another thing they've added for glorious quality of life is portals are just free now. That's they were not in the original game. You had to use portal scrolls, which was I mean, it was fine. It's like annoying early on, and then you reach a point where you just have so many of them that it's no longer a factor. So I'm glad they just removed that. That's quality of life thing that I am in support of. So again, I'm kind of exploring everything. I just rushed the boss, or accidentally got to the boss and then left the area when I first went through this. So I want to see if there's more here. Okay. Nope, missed. Gotta actually click on the things. Okay, the contagion spread radius is pretty small. Also, contagion in the base game was by default an AoE. Oh, here's the boss. Okay. The Devourer. It's a fucking cool looking enemy. And she called it a pretty worm. And it's got awesome mechanics. The bosses are way cooler. Or at least the early bosses. Like, the later game bosses in the original Path of Exile were pretty cool. But the early game bosses were super simple. Uh-oh. Avoid that. That does a lot of damage. That actually killed me when I was, That also does a lot of damage, if you're standing in the middle of it. Okay. I'm gonna summon some, corpse thingies here. Oh, shit. Didn't see it. Okay, thankfully I'm doing okay on my flasks. The tail does indeed hit you. Okay, we want to summon some of these guys. Get that out of the way. Okay, we're doing alright. I got tailed. Not ideal. Okay, I need to heal. And I need to press the right buttons. Okay, I pressed the wrong button like 4 times. So, I died. First death. Not very good. Shame for just spray. Let's try again. Alright. He's really not that hard. At least for a ranged character. I reckon he's probably harder for a melee character. I'm not sure what these, damn it, I almost walked into it again. It's not very bright. You have to pay attention. So I need to, like, get good at that. Oh boy, the tail. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I got, kind of was in a bad position there. So I'm just gonna attack the little guys, because each little guy that I get is gonna increase my damage over time potential. Due to the swarms of these things. Alright, we avoided it. Nice, look at this. Ow. Pain. Okay, we're doing pretty good. I think we got him. It's just not choke. Yeah. As soon as it's out of minions to tank for it, and I have a lot of guys, the damage starts to rock.
Outsmarts the worm.
You are the Raven, huh? Short bow, we're not going to be using that. But I will pick it up. Inventory Tetris is still a thing. I am actually very happy about that. Can you go away? I would like to do some inventory Tetris on my own. I did not like in Diablo 4 that they removed that. I know it's quality of life, but I don't care. Ooh, Regal Shards. These are shards to make Regal Orbs, which will, I think, allow you to just re-roll the effects on a rare item, so I could, like, re-roll these. Not that I would. These are amazing for a level 3 wand. It's fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything better, to be perfectly honest. We have our crossbow here, but it's too big, so we'll just have to leave that there. I guess we can go back to town, also collect the reward. But we got our reward. Level 2 skill gem. So, as you can see, we can upgrade Unearth or Contagion, or we can straight up get one of these to level 2. I'm going to upgrade Contagion.
Too much clutter.
Ah, she still says too much clutter in that way. Glorious, the old witch from PoE 1, said it exactly like that, and it was always funny. Alright, we're going to go back to town. I'm going to sell things for gold. Should be noted you can also disenchant magic items, which will give you shards of different currencies, which is cool. So I believe you do that with Una.
Sorry, I was just elsewhere.
So we can go here and, yeah, get transmutation shards, which I think I want to do instead of getting gold. Gold is nice, but oh, actually, I'm gonna identify that one. So that's definitely going to be better than what I got there. But quickly looking here, we have the two goddesses. Man, what were they called? They were like dawn and dusk. There was the moon and sun deities. Yeah, it was moon and sun, but I don't remember what their names were. Solaria and Lunaria or something? You fight them and defeat them in PoE 1. Anyways, yeah, 3 transmutation shards. So I can throw these into my stash here. I already have some shards from, already playing the game for a tiny bit. So we have, this is now going to grant us extra energy shield, so I'm absolutely going to equip that. So we could, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a transmutation orb on these gloves. Nice. Okay, that not that nice. 19% of 9 is like 2 extra energy shield, but whatever. I'm going to equip it. I need energy shield. So we have 116 of it. As for the rest of this, we could use one of these on the flasks. So you can even enchant your flasks. I guess that's why you would want extra flasks, so that you can enchant more of them. So this is going to increase the amount. So we recover now 72 life over 3 seconds rather than whatever it was before. And then we can sell. You can sell to any of the characters.
These
but
are just some odds and ends of mine. I will treasure it.
do that. It's a tiny bit of gold. You can look here. So in case we didn't want to use minions, we could use a twig focus instead. Grants energy shield, and then, you know, if it's a magic one, it'll give stats, which is cool. However, right now the skeletons are actually very useful, but I think we're going to save until we can get a level 3 skeleton
Bye.
totem. Let's talk to her real quick about things.
I was just...
The Devourer.
I swear the Devourer is just another victim of the sickness infecting our precious land. Many of Ogham's beasts are fearsome and dangerous, but not like this. The infection in the soil, water, and air is changing them. All of them. It is sad to see such a great creature slain, but it was no longer what it once was. I suppose it had to be done.
So what's also cool, and this gives me high hopes for the game, because in PoE 1, you're godlike. You're slaughtering so many things so quickly. By the end game, it's all about the clear speed. If you can't delete everything that's on the screen in under a second, you're not playing it right. And the game was kind of balanced around that, and that made the end game, for me, not all that fun. This seems to have toned it down quite a bit. Now, we'll see how it continues on in the end game. But already, just this boss that we fought, the Devourer, was like a normal enemy in PoE 1. So it seems like the scale of everything is much smaller. You're way less powerful narratively. And because of that, it feels a lot more gritty. And I think that's cool. Some people might not like it, but I do. I like the rough start where, you know, enemies that look big and scary are actually scary rather than, you know, they take 3 seconds to kill rather than 1.
I survived, but all that I was is gone. Count Gino has only been growing more and more cruel with his justice. He arrested my father for bringing in the harvest 1 day late, and the rest of my family scattered and fled as the soldiers came for them. I was away when it happened, but my neighbors warned me on my way home, and I fled. Clearfell is as far as I could go before the dangers of the forest closed in. There is scant hope in my heart for my father. But I must believe my mother and my 2 younger brothers escaped, even though my heart tells me that they are just songs now. I keep longing for a ray of light to cut through the darkness of these bleak days.
A wise man once said, "That's rough, buddy." Yeah. She speaks in a very, like, calm and measured way. Kind of gives me the indication that she is, like, she's clearly got some serious mental fortitude to withstand everything and remain calm, but kind of feels like she's barely holding together, which makes sense. We'll see.
Hello.
Survival.
You killed the Devourer in its own lair. That's mighty brave of you, hero. Now at least we won't starve to death. One less way to die, I guess.
Yep.
Feeling lucky?
Maybe. I don't know. Last time I got pretty lucky. Will I get lucky again? We could get some cool, what about like a ring? Maybe I'll get a... Can we get those? We can. Random ring. Oh, they're not cheap. Okay. What do we need? These gloves suck. Do I want random gloves? That might be good. Or a random hat. Let's take a random hat. This one's... It's okay. I'll do the gloves. Let's just do it. Alright, add 1 or 2 to 3 physical damage and gain 2 mana per enemy killed. That's better than what we have. It's less energy shield, but only by 2, so... we'll sell these. Alright, what does Renly have to say?
Oh, finally! Took down the Devourer, did you? Oh, that's incredible! This is the first real success we've had against the darkness. We can breathe a bit easier now, perhaps even go out and gather food.
Yeah.
Now, this won't cover our debt to you, not nearly, but take it as thanks.
Another support gem, alright. Now we're talking. Fatherhood.
Bad enough I have all these folks to protect. I've been worried sick about my son ever since the Count's men arrested him.
No, that's not good.
I was hoping you might have seen him when you were in their custody. He's a big lad, but you can't miss him because, well, he's not from around here.
Oh, no!
I found him washed up on the river when
No.
he was just a child, a Karoi foundling, perhaps lost by some raiding party. Nobody ever came for him, though. Every day here in Clearfell, I keep my eyes on the river, hoping he'll miraculously wash up on its lonely sands just one more time.
Okay, I don't know what a foundling is, but to give you some lore and history, the Karui were one of my favorite civilizations in Path of Exile, mostly because they're they play into the developers, New Zealander heritage. So the Karui are heavily inspired by Maori and other Polynesian cultures. Their whole history of how they landed on the shores of Rayclast, the cursed continent. I'm not sure if we're on Rayclast right now, to be perfectly honest. I don't know where Esamir is on the greater geography of this world. If it's on Rayclast or if it's near Rayclast. I think it's near Rayclast, but I'm not sure. So we're not even on the cursed continent. But anyways, the Karui landed on Rayclast, which was controlled by the Eternals, and waged a brutal war against the Eternals, which drove the Eternals to do the thing that they did that absolutely screwed everything. But you see, like, Karui remnants all over the place. These, big totems and jade constructs and everything. It's awesome. Karui are really cool. And I think the warrior class, if you play the warrior class, is the Karui. And they did mention that he was a foundling. I don't know what that is yet. That's an Esamir or an Esamite term, I guess. So maybe some sort of, like, Karui exile that gets inducted into Esamite society. Maybe. But if the warrior is your son, adopted son, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. He's dead. I wonder what that would be if you actually play as the warrior. That'd be interesting to do.
If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
So we leveled up. We're going to get more energy shields. So that's going to do a pretty bigger bonus, because 15%, and that's going to scale much better into the end game. So we'll use our uncut support gem here, so we can basically buff up one of our skills. So there's a few options. I think I'm going to go with Swift Affliction. So what this is going to do So Swift Affliction is used on Contagion, but as far as I'm aware, you can move these around. Now, you can't use every support gem on every skill because some of them just don't interact with each other, but it'll tell you that that happens now. For the longest time in PoE 1, it didn't, and you just had to guess. Eventually, they added in a thing that showed whether it did or not, which was nice. But, yeah, so this will support any skill that deals damage, causing to deal more damage over time, but have a shorter duration. I'm actually not sure if that's good. Because that means I do have to kill the thing that has contagion on it faster in order for it to spread. And the spreading is definitely a thing that's nice. What about magnified effect? Extra area effect, that's going to increase. So contagion doesn't do an area of effect in this. It's a single target. However, when that target dies, it causes an area of effect. So it's a little different. I'm going to do this. It's also persistent. That increases the duration. That could be good too. But I'm going to take this one, and indeed we're going to slot it in right there. So that's going to be nice. Magnified effect, extra area. Should be good. Now, is my portal still here? It is not. Shucks. Okay, well, then we're going to go back into Clearfell. I'm not sure if there's anything else in that mud cave. I want to say there isn't. I didn't find anything, and in the interest of not taking too long with certain things, I think we'll just move on. You guys, if you're playing the game yourselves, do let me know if there was something there, like some lore thing, in which case I will go back and get it. You can always revisit the areas and even refight the bosses that you fought. Okay, we have a camp or something here. Note of criminality? What does this say?
I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my order to return. Refusing my authority should be considered a traitor and a criminal. Deal with them as you see fit, but bring their bodies back to the manor.
Why do you want their bodies in the manor? This must be the Count. He went into the woods and went crazy, so something happened. Let's, I want to quickly adjust the sound here to reduce the sound effects a little bit. Increase the master volume, though. Then we'll bring the sound effects down. Maybe the ambient down a little. Music's good, as it was in the first game. Okay. Yeah, that's doing some work. We got ourselves a belt. 26% increased life recovery from flasks. Hell yeah. So I noticed we haven't really had any mana problem. We recharge mana really fast, and we don't use much of it. I wonder if that's just a witch thing because we have high intelligence, or and if the other classes then have to contend with that a little bit more. So it seems like it's a non-factor, and it was a bit of a non-factor in PoE 1-2 if you build your character right. The goal of that was you build your character to be completely mana stable with the regen, and then don't use mana flasks because you had all the other flask slots were then used for like a couple of healing flasks and then mostly utility flasks. So those were really cool. I really hope they have utility flasks in this. That was a really cool factor. Some rotten wolves here. Like right now, the enemies are fairly basic looking. The Devourer looked cool, but Path of Exile had really good enemy design. Part of the reason I think that is because it was clearly inspired. Was it inspired by Dark Souls? Not actually sure. Ooh. Did Dark Souls come out before Path of Exile 1? I'm not sure. I think so. Demon Souls did, for sure. Boss. Vera of the Rotten Pack. She's an ice hag, apparently. Got some sort of horrendous sigil on the ground here. Can I, No, these must be your corpses. Okay, this is getting a little hog wild. Lots of enemies here. Let me contagion these wolves here. And then do that. If we could. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's get some damage in. And, okay. A little undead swarm did its work pretty well there. Head of the Winter Wolf. It howled alone on the eve of the first snow. Now it snarls forever, heralding the cold. Right-click to crush it, undoing the crone's curse. Quest item. Grants plus 10 to cold resistance. So... where's my resistances? Here. I have 0. Okay, so it's probably not... would this bring it to minus 10? No. So if I use it... it's a permanent plus 10 to cold resist. That's cool. That's a nice reward, actually. Could augment a magic item with new random properties. I don't think there's anything that we want to do that to right now. So I have an orb of augmentation. Different type of orb. Anyways, that's cool. The Ice Hag, a little mini boss. Fairly easy. I'm quickly swinging back to see if there's anything else here, but... so we did just find this whole other thing here, which is fun. Rattling Scepter, still level 1/1, so I'm not too concerned about it. We got our waypoint here. Let's definitely... oh, it's already activated. Okay. So there's the mud burrow in case we wanted to go back inside. So that's right next to the waypoint, so that's good to know. If we do need to go back for whatever reason, we can just jump back in it from the waypoint. But I'm not going to go into it now. The game looks good. Ah, blue trunk. So, chests have a rarity as well. And I believe you can actually use your orbs on those chests. I'm not sure on these specifically, but there are some chests that you can, or that you could in the first game, and I think they're bringing that mechanic back. But I'm not sure. Right, there's our... no, that's not our way out. How do we actually get through here? Do we have to go through the mud burrow? We may maybe have to go through the mud burrow. Let me explore around the edges of this territory first, just to make sure that there's not another way through. And this looks promising, so... oh, yeah. Nice gold. Pilgrim vestments. That is armor and energy shield. I mean, I have pure energy shield. This is better. I love the look of the pilgrim vestments, though. Ooh, it's got the, Can we look at it closer? No, we cannot. But it's got the Oriath, the Templar insignia on it. The eye. Which is cool. We're gonna just move up along here. Maybe down this one? Nope. Okay. Unless it's right here, I think we have to move on to the next area through the mud burrow. No, never mind. Grellwood. Here we go. Perfect. Into the Grellwood we go. So... yeah, from here I have not played, so it is blind.
The Grellwood has turned foul. I think I prefer it this way.
Pack werewolf. Very cool looking enemies. Oh shit, they have a lunging attack. Okay, that's a different one. That's a prowler. It's slightly larger, a little tougher. And very fast. Got a cool ambush. These ones also have some resistances. Fungal zombies. Well, I wanted to look at them. We still have these vile imps here. These, like, are they fae? Like spirit creatures, or are these just like zombie children? Okay. Nothing here. I love the environment here. Looks amazing. Super grim dark. which, to not badmouth Diablo 4, Diablo 4 did that respectably well too. Medium life flask. So, better type of flask. Absolutely. I'll be taking that. I can't swap them. Okay. That is opened up, but I still can't do anything with it. Interesting. Let me move these around, actually, because of reasons. That way we can still fit some 6-slot items. I can always just go back to town, but I'm not going to bother you guys with that. It's also slows down the progress. Look at these fucking gnarly-ass fungal zombies. All the weird pods on their backs. Disgusting. It's like an inverse trypophobia.
I will put you down.
Okay, I am getting shafted. Okay. I just realized I should probably move. And then I was dead. So you can just die. Randomly, out anywhere. Fairly early in the game, too. Like, that was absolutely something that could happen later in the campaign, and for sure in Endgame, in Path of Exile 1. But, now it seems to also happen early in the game, so there is a challenge factor, which I like. I'm admittedly, you know, I'm not all that good. Okay, we have a hut. Man, I wish it would automatically target a little bit more. I keep missing. Okay, we have a hut here. Who is this? Hello. Oh, it's a witch. She screamed at us. That was like one of the banshees.
A sister in the Grellwood. Curious.
Okay, she just screamed at us and left. Is opening this cauldron gonna trigger a fight? No. Medium mana flask. Too much clutter. Impossible. Let's ditch this. Hold on to that. We'll ditch the big items that we're not using. Okay. I hear weird breathing. Oh yeah, hello. She's not a boss, she's just an elite enemy. Then she's like a named one, a specific one, which is interesting. Alright, that was good. So we have some reanimatable minions here. Where you at? There she is. Oh, she's going down pretty quick. She's fire resistant. Ow. Alright, we're taking damage, and I need to not stand in the ice. Okay, she should be dead. Perfect.
You tarried too long, dear sister.
Another support gem. Wonderful. Oak Great Hammer. I'm going to leave it. The short bow, I'm also going to leave. I wish the short bow didn't take up 8 spaces. It's a short bow, not a long bow. Anyways, oh yeah, we have an uncut skill gem here. It's a level 1 skill gem. I think I'm going to take the Skeleton Warrior, actually. So that's just going to be some extra, you know, wall for me. So, I think we drop this here. No, we don't. We put it... Ah, you do it here. Look at that. So you can reserve 60 spirit, and it'll summon a 2 skeleton warriors. Or 1 skeleton warrior, maybe. Just 1. Now we have 3. So that's pretty good. And we can get the support gem here, which... I could get more onto Contagion. Persistence, increase the time. It's going to make it spread better. I think I'm going to do that. Although, getting both of these together would also be really fun. But you can only get 2 for now. I reckon more will unlock later. We'll do Persistence. Also means I have to drop it less onto bosses. Superior medium flask. Okay, so they have item quality still. That's nice. Medium mana flask. Yeah, do it. So it has a 6% quality, so the quality not only increases the flat stats of whatever item the quality belongs to, but it also, I believe it increases the chance that when you use an orb on it to modify it, that the results will be better, which is really nice. At least it used to do that. So we have a voltaic staff. It's a lightning ability. I'm probably not going to use much elemental stuff with this witch. Nice. And we've leveled up, of course, so let's quickly do that. So we're going to grab the remaining energy shield. Right now the level ups are fairly boring, but we'll get to the main notable passives and the keystone passives that'll make some pretty noticeable things. So we're at 148 energy shield now due to the leveling. I am in danger. These enemies also block you, which is gnarly. Okay, thankfully Contagion sorted them out. Man, I want Essence Drain. Wonder how long it'll be until we get it. Okay, nothing here. And is movement speed going to be a thing? Is that a stat? So it'd be nice to be able to move a bit quicker. Okay, we got something going on here. Oh, hello. The Grim Tangle. Do we go in here now? Let me quickly look for a Site of Grace. Sorry, a lantern. No, wait. The bonfire. WARPSTONE? Waypoint, that's what it's called. Bench? I don't think there's going to be one around here. Kind of feel like those skeletons just weren't attacking there for a minute. Or they just attack very slow. That's also possible. Cash with 1 gold. Nice. Alright, this is a clusterfuck. The moment there's a clusterfuck, I start using Unearth. Exponentially speeds up the clearing out of said clusterfuck. Okay, I think we're gonna go into the Grim Tangle. Not sure what we need to do there. We just need to search Grellwood for evidence of the Count's activity. So maybe we're gonna find that down here? No idea. What I will also quickly do is head to town. I won't dally around like last time and lose my portal. But I do want to get rid of the things that I've got. So we'll do some disenchanting.
Sorry, I was just...
Disenchant that. That. This also gives a shard, but the identified items actually sell for a lot, so... By a lot, I mean a little bit. So we'll sell those to Finn.
None of it's junk. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but cheers.
Alright, then I can throw these into the stash. Need more things here. Alright. Anything I want to... Yeah, I will actually use a transmutation. 1.7 life regen. It's alright. Augmentation. We could augment it with a new property as well. 16 armor. Doesn't help much, but, you know, it's okay. We can also do this one. Not sure if we're going to find a better hat. Immediately 8 lightning resistance. Okay. Would have been handy against that witch. But it was alright. We won. There was a little bit of dialogue here.
Sorry,
the Grellwood.
just elsewhere. The first ones ran wild through the Grellwood of old, hunting and brawling as they saw fit. It is said that the spirits of the forest would watch them and be entertained. Over time, the forest became abundant with the joys of those spirits and their old magics. It was a haven for the unity of life and spirit. That place of beauty has now become shadowed and deadly. The curse upon this land has made the known paths of the Grellwood twisted and treacherous. So much so that we can no longer even reach our home.
She's giving a narrative reason for why the maps are random every time. That's cool. The Grellwood.
That place used to be a kind and warm wood. I even played there when I was young. It's a dark well now, with no way out for most. I'd go with you, but I got people to protect here.
Ah,
Next time.
good old Renly. Alright, into the Grim Tangle. Mushrooms. Seems like it's gonna be a very fungal place. Got ourselves a waypoint. That's nice. What over here? Didn't mean to click it, but... Ooh! A map! Oh, look at this! It even shows the points of interest. That's really cool. Okay, and apparently... Ah, look at this. So, in the Grellwood, we're missing two things. So, we are currently in the Grim Tangle. A simple ditch becomes a labyrinth when the mind twists upon itself. The Grellwood says, a shadow waits and watches with mysterious intent. And Clearfell, a wounded land, plays host to an infection. With the mud burrow being, nature begins to seep back in, reclaiming the spaces within. The Clearfell encampment. Walls of wood strain against the tide as death knocks thrice. I love it. And the riverbank. Drags in filth from the manor gather in silence. So we were probably... Yeah, I reckon... Look at that. That's where we were going to be executed. We jumped off, fell into the river, got carried all the way down, washed up here in near Clearfell encampment. That's awesome. It's a really cool looking map. That is interesting. And from the looks of it, that is where we're going, because the Grim Tangle is down there. So we actually traveled a fair bit underground to get here.
The roots here have a mind of their own. I'll need to convince them to part for me.
Ah, okay. Roots are impassable. So much for that. Okay, how do we... You know what? There was... How do I access the map? M? No, that is microtransactions. We won't be doing that right now. I have plenty, but they need to be... So what's really cool is if you had microtransactions, which is all cosmetics in this game, by the way. It is a free-to-play game. I totally forgot to mention this when I started. It is a free-to-play game, and the only things you can actually spend money on are cosmetics. So it is like actual free-to-play, which is awesome. Also, if you spent, I think it's, I don't remember the exact amount. It's a few hundred though, so it's you do have to spend a bit of money in the first game. You will automatically get early access to Path of Exile 2. And any of the cosmetic microtransactions you got from the first game will eventually be updated and brought into Path of Exile 2. So I'll get my golden kiwi eventually. It's not here yet. But, it's pretty awesome. Grinding Gear Games. Pretty cool company. Ooh, a shabby hood. It's an evasion-based item. Damn. I wish it was a, energy shield-based item, because then I could wear a cool hood. Blue werewolves. Let's pull back and let our skeletons handle that. So these guys are going down a lot harder. As you can see, they're also dropping, you know, currency items. So their drop rates are generally better. And they give more XP. If you were watching my XP bar, when you kill a blue one, it goes up noticeably at this stage. So we're looking for some sort of tree. Speaking of... No, that's just a checkpoint. There was a tree on the map, and I reckon the roots might be connected to the tree. Maybe it's even close to here. But I'll continue going around the edge of the map. The moving bramble. Oh, shit.
A beautiful monstrosity.
Witch is into it, whatever it is. Okay, it's going down pretty fast. Oh, cool. Look at it. Wow. Maybe we need to kill this thing and that'll open the passage. Oh boy, oh boy. Bramblegast. You stunned? Oh, it was slapping with the roots there. That's cool.
Friend monstrous weed.
Wow. Okay, we got ourselves a big club. Not my thing. Definitely not going to use it, but that's pretty good. If I was playing a warrior, this would be nice. I might throw that in my stash, so if I make a warrior, I'll have a good item right away. So we have ourselves a new item here. We could upgrade Unearth or upgrade our skeleton warriors. I think I'm going to upgrade the skeleton warriors. It's a nice bit of brainless. Don't have to do anything. So you can immediately reserve a second one. Yeah, that's awesome. So you can pick how many you get, and they just reserve the spirit, which the scepter that we currently have is giving us 100 spirits. So I think they're 44 each at this point. So we can get 2 of them. So now we have, ideally, 4 skeletons. Unfortunately, 2 died again. There we go. It feels good. The combat feels very good. It's methodical rather than super fast and frenetic like it was in the original game. It wasn't so much in the original game early on. It definitely got that way more later. But let's hope it PoE 2 doesn't make the same mistakes. Which I think the mistakes that PoE 1 made, or at least what's in my opinion a mistake. Some people like it because of what I think as a mistake, so bear in mind, this is my opinion. They balanced the endgame around the 1% of super committed players, which I understand to a degree, but it just made, like, these are the players that know how to, like, break the game and create these ridiculous builds, which means that if you don't do that, you cannot get far into the endgame. And, like, you can always look up a build guide and trade for items, but, you know, I hate having to socialize with people, so I generally don't like talking to people on the internet. If I play a multiplayer game, trying my damnedest to play it single player, which is what I'll be doing here. So I didn't do much trading, and I don't like looking up build guides. Simple as that. I don't mind if people recommend me things. I just don't like actively using somebody else's knowledge when I feel like I could discover something myself. Okay, we have something there. That is a new area. I don't know if we need to go there yet, because we still need to search the Grellwood for evidence of the Count's activities. So let's keep looking. I don't know where this evidence is, or what it is. The routes are still impassable. Sorry, I didn't mention that, but they are. Maybe it just says that because we don't know that they're not impassable. Maybe we need to go back down there, but I'll keep looking around before we do that. So I feel like it would probably just tell you in the quest description here that we still can't get through. Nice. It's handy if you can contagion something like that's right about to die, because then it's guaranteed to spread. Okay, this might be promising. Nope, it's a dead end.
Death and decay.
Damn, these prowlers just they come at you, and they come at you fast. Hit fairly hard. Thankfully, I've got quite a bit of energy shield, so not feeling it. Which is nice. Opted for a slightly more tanky build. Well, this means I won't have a heal for a moment, because when you switch your flasks, they count as having nothing in them. Alright, I have no idea where this is supposed to be, so I guess we're just going to run dead through the middle here and hope that we'll find something. Down? No. Up here? Oh, hello. Ah, well, this looks promising.
Who is this? that adorns the Tree of Souls.
The hooded one. Ooh, you have blue glowing eyes. Black robe. Okay, he looks a bit sketchy. Count sentencing.
By decree of the Count of Ogham, those condemned to hang from these branches are to be left until their hearts no longer beat, their lungs no longer fill with air, and their flesh is no longer warm. In death, you are not forgiven. Your souls will remain trapped here by this ancient moor of maligned wood, and the grove will be forever denied you. Rot here in the Grellwood for all time, and good riddance.
I wonder if this cruelty is what's causing the Grellwood to become evil. We can't interact with him, but we can summon Una. Oh, hello.
What happened here?
Yeah, I was hoping you could tell me.
This shade, is it still alive? Perhaps it can give us the answers we seek. Only the Count's sword has the power to bind souls to the tree like this. We must free it somehow.
Kill the Count?
To release that being from the Tree of Souls, we'll need more than simply cutting his rope. The ancient runes that imbue the Count's blade created the binding, and only ancient runes can break it. There is a battlefield not far from here that runs red with rust, where the weapons and armor of countless Ezamites still remain. We call it the Red Veil. You should search the area. There may still be power in some of those centuries-old relics.
Okay.
Renly will know how to forge them, bring the runes to him, and then, perhaps, we shall find some answers. I'll wait here. The old magics will protect me.
Okay.
To find the runes.
Oh. The Red Veil.
The Red Veil played host to the final and bloodiest battle of countless conflicts. It was in the heart of that veil that we fought for our freedom against the Eternals. We did win, in a sense. But the cost was far greater than anyone expected. Many generations of able-bodied men and women gave their lives to push off the boot of oppression. Ogham's clans haven't been the same since. Even centuries on.
Yeah, the long-term effects of a war. The Tree of Souls.
My mother's mother told me tales of this tree. Our ancestors used it to attract fey spirits, until it was given a darker purpose under the Eternals. They would leave Ezamites strung up on the tree, alive, to starve, to be pecked at by birds.
Not very nice, so I guess I was right. Shadowed dreams.
So this is the source of my shadowed dreams.
Ah.
Not the tree, but the shade upon it.
Interesting.
As strange as it sounds, I believe we should help this creature. For the Count to bind it to the tree, it must be involved in all of this somehow. There is something very wrong in Ogham, and it may know something of it.
I really wonder if the Shade is a character we know from the original game. I'm hoping it is. That'd be really cool. Agnar.
The great sword Agnar is currently in Count Geonor's possession. But the mighty rune blade was not always his to wield. It is an ancient weapon of the old magics, inspired by the great wolf himself.
Rigvald.
Legend says it was forged and runed for the original clan leader so he might lead his people to a new, safer land. This brought them to Farrell, where they founded Ogham. Ever since, Agnar was passed down to the leader of the strongest clan. When the position of Count was established in Ogham, the sword was bound to the role. But now, Geonor sullies his remarkable history with his misdeeds. I hope I will live to see the day when someone worthy takes up the sword once more.
All right. Off to the Red Veil we go. So that's right up here. We already found the entrance to that. The roots are still impassable, so I reckon we got to do something with that tree. It's probably that tree's roots. Or maybe the tree is connected to all of the other trees in this area. Could be that way. All right, we go down this time. Ooh, look at this. This is very cool looking.
Blood, bones, and rust.
Ooh, maw demons. Okay.
In abundance.
These were in the base game. Oh. Nasty creatures, so they're kind of scavenger-like demons. Bloom serpents. These are the snakes that spat the poison. They look a little different here. They look less snake-like and more plant-like, and then also with like a human skull inside it. Bit weird. Okay, effigy. Ah, missed. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is getting out of hand. No, other way. Damn it. Okay, how are we doing? Alright, I got a swarm of thingies. It's on Earth there's a really nice oh fuck ability. Oh fuck, I need backup. I'm not using it so often because it's usually, or at least I don't know. For me, it's not worth it in the really tiny fights, but the moment there's a big fight, because the ability itself doesn't do much damage. Certainly doesn't compete with Contagion. Look at that. The way how it just spread through all of them. It's so fun. Like, that was one Contagion. I used it once there again at the end, but all of that was done just from the first use of it. Okay. Oh, no, nothing. There's an obelisk of rust here as a landmark. Most interesting. See what this...
This is what we need.
Correct. But first I'm going to get myself more energy shields. So we're at 148 now. That's going to now go up to 182. That's a bonus. Defeat the monsters. Ah, gauntlet. This is perfect for me. I'm good at these. Oh boy. I would like to not be here, though. Oh man.
Impudent undead.
Very dead. No, this build is made for that sort of thing. As far as we have a build yet. It's some ruined arms. Oh, that Contagion. Beautiful. So we'll keep searching around the edges. We need to get 2 more remaining runes of power. I should actually look at the rune that we picked up. There might be some lore on it. The rune on the buckle means unity or safety from harm. It is like a belt buckle thing. Nice. No, the comboing with these summons and Contagion is awesome. I might use like some summons in my build. This is doing some work in these larger fights. Ooh, a gold chest.
I think not.
Just ignoring the fight. Okay, can I actually hit something? Oh, they're dead. All right. I need to remove some stuff so that I can pick up the blue items. I haven't really been, like, checking any of these, but some of these might actually be better than what I have. That's an armor one, so that's not going to do much for me. And again, I want energy shield, not armor. I think I'm going to actually put this on. It has a little bit less energy shield, but the life regen is going to be handy, and accuracy is nice. Looks a bit silly, but that's all right.
Infection.
Another obelisk and a checkpoint. Let's quickly grab that and activate this. Right. At the moment something dies.
No.
Our will persist. Interesting. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Runed guard. The rune at the base of the blade, it means to strike true or truth. Okay. Do we go into the center? Let's quickly check the center since we're here and go around later. It seems like the center is more of a impassable area. The Rusty River. We'll go around. Check for the final rune of power. Rope cuff is armor and energy shield. We'll have a look. Gains 6 life per enemy killed. I think I'm gonna use the other one. I can ditch that. We have a new feathered robe. I will have a look. Might be better than what I have. Thorns damage. Okay, so thorns are basically, if somebody hits you, they'll take 1 to 3 damage. It's not much. I'll keep the robe I have. Blue enemies. Good. Good XP. It might even level up here. No, not quite, but close. I'll leave that blue item. It's not one that's relevant to me. We'll swing around. Only place to go is down that way. It's just like missed with all of my wand attacks. There we go. There's a bridge. Let's quickly level up. So, where do I want to go? Now we have some decisions to make. So I'm just going to look at the keystones, and that's usually a good way to navigate this. Don't worry too much about the things in the middle. Just aim for the different keystones. I want chaos damage for sure. So we could go up here. Critical chance. If I recall correctly, in the base game, chaos spells could not do critical. Not sure if that's still true. It might. Extra energy shield would be nice, but I think we're good for now. I'm relatively tanky, all things considered. I want to go up. That's nice. So we have some extra chaos damage and reduced enemy chaos resistance. That's really clutch up here. So I think I might want to go over that way. I haven't even looked at the keystones yet. Curses. I like curses. Curses are fun. Converts all energy shield to mana. Let's not do that. This will, good for a necromancer. Chaos inoculation. Max life becomes 1, immune to chaos damage. Chaos inoculation is fun. It's hard to pull off. You need a lot of energy shield and a lot of ways to increase your energy shield. I might try and go for that, to be perfectly honest. I like fiddling around with chaos inoculation. It usually doesn't work, but it is fun as an experiment. So what I might do is I want this, but I don't need to go through here because this is going to be a minion thing. Spell damage is nice, but I prefer to just get the increased chaos damage. And if I'm going to go for chaos inoculation, we need all the energy shield we can get. So I'm just going to continue going up to get more energy shield. We're going to go up to here. I'm going to swing back, grab these two. I think we can ignore that. And then we'll be nicely situated up here to maybe make our way down, get more chaos damage. We'll have to look. There's other ones here too. That could be good. We have a lot of mana, but we'll see if that holds up later, because right now I'm really only using one ability. Extra life recovery from regeneration is applied to energy shield. This one's really nice. But it doesn't recharge. I wonder how that works with chaos inoculation. Some of these combining certain keystones can absolutely screw you. Like if you get chaos inoculation, max life becomes 1, immune to chaos damage. You need energy shield, and then you can get where's the one? It was somewhere. No, there was definitely one. I don't remember where it is. It's basically you use your energy shield instead of mana. If I recall correctly. I think it was called Eldritch Battery. And if you combine those two together, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Let's have a look here. This might be where we need to go. Hello. Death and decay. Oh, that. Okay, gotta throw in a new contagion. Hey, another blue one. They do extra fire damage. Just stay away from them. These guys probably do a lot of damage. What I can also do is this. Here. Have some random skeleton scorpion things. Hope you don't mind. There's the last one. Perfect.
The third.
Let's go. This is our land. We stand united. Okay. Defeat the Rust King. Boss time? Hello. There you are. Totally missed. Okay, we're doing damage. You look cool. What do you do, though? Ah, good. Perfect. This is what I wanted. I want minions. Minions to kill in large numbers. Ah, we're talking. All right. Let's go. Once our ramp gets going, it's a lot of damage. We just gotta survive until we get to the minion stage. But fight, and then we can profit. Okay, I don't want to get close to him though. He does a lot of damage. But I'm doing okay. That should do it. Please die. Thank you. Nice. Rune Skullcap.
Loud and very dull.
Which is not interested. The rune emblazoned on the crest means freedom or for a worthy cause. Okay. We have ourselves a new rank 3 uncut skill gem. Essence Drain. I'll read over the others for you guys. So Enfeeble is a curse. Ooh, that also does sound interesting. Curses all targets in an area after a short delay, making them deal less damage. Ooh, very nice utility curse. Skeletal Arsonist summons a bomb-throwing, reviving skeletal arsonist that can detonate other minions on command. Bone Cage. Raises a ring of bone spikes around you. The spikes are destroyed when enemies touch them, damaging and pinning those enemies. Oh, cool. And then Essence Drain fires a powerful projectile, that applies a powerful chaos damage over time, debuff to hit enemies. So we can quickly, can I hold this on here? Yes. We read projectile here. Projectile is a moving attack or spell that usually impacts the targets, or with targets when it hits them. When a group of multiple projectiles is fired from the same source at the same time, only one projectile in the group can hit each target unless otherwise specified. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad that they have this now, these little tooltips. And Chaos. Chaos damage is one of the 5 damage types. It is reduced by Chaos damage resistance. Chaos damage is the least common damage type and removes twice as much energy shield as the damage value when taken. Okay, so it no longer ignores energy shield, it just does double damage to it. That's, I think, a little more fair. Makes Chaos Inoculation a little less good, though. Hold on. I mean, no, you're still immune to Chaos. Never mind. Anyways, we're gonna, of course, try this, because this is what I wanted. So let's swap this out for Essence Drain. We can just throw our Chaos Bolt there in case we still need it for anything. We probably don't. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We do have some new armor here. But none of these really... Maybe the Pilgrim's Vest. I will quickly misclick. 12 life. 16 energy shield. No, we want the high energy shield. That is what we want. Is there anything else here? I don't think so. Okay. Well, we've gone and done it. So there's a checkpoint over here. Quickly grab that. I'm not sure if there's anything else here in this area, but let's give this a shot. Oh my god. It does it. All right. And we'll see how this does with my mana, because right now, this is now what I do. I don't use my basic attack anymore. So we'll see if this tanks my mana, in which case I'll need to invest in some mana. For now, I think we can rely on our mana potions. Holy fuck. This is so much faster. Ah, delight. Essence Drain Contagion. Here we go. It's just a 1-2 punch. Takes most things out. Oh, those are friendly. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anywhere else to go from here, so I reckon we can portal back. And we'll do the thing at the tree. But first I'll sell the things, and then I'll call it an episode. These will be longer episodes than normally on my channel, just because of the pacing and flow of this game. And this game is very much suited for longer play times.
Trees be damned. You actually entered the Red Veil and survived. Every Ogham kid knows, if you step 1 foot in there, you'll be skewered and eaten. Well, those kids that are lucky enough to have a mother, that is. How rusted is the gear? Any of it salvageable? Worth anything? Just, thinking out loud.
Finn's awesome. Count Geonor.
I was the first to notice the Mad Count's fist closing around this land.
Yeah.
He kept rounding up people like me for reasons that smelt like wolf droppings. I'm a bit of a slippery fish, though, so I dodged his nets. Then his mercenaries started coming for people I actually liked, and that's when I knew something was up. The village folk kept defending his actions. I don't know why they couldn't see it. Maybe they didn't want to see it.
So something's going on with the Count. He's basically executing or rounding up a lot of people. He's also executing a lot of people, as we saw at the beginning. And the note that we found in the Grellwood, I think, was saying, bring the bodies back to the manor. I have the sneaking suspicion that the Count has discovered thaumaturgy, which thaumaturgy is the art of using essence gems, which, yes, those are the things we are using for our skills. They are slivers of divinity that unlock divine powers for humans. So what we are doing is actually divine power. However, there's different ways to do it. You can either like wear them and then you get, you know, stronger from these gems and you can activate the abilities of the gems, or you can embed them in people surgically and unlock a different type of power in those people. That's horrible and maddening. That's probably what's happening in the manor, if I have anything, if I can make guesses.
As an esteemed member of
No clan at all, I had the distinct honour of wandering through the lovely sights of all 4 seasons. Summer heat, winter chill, take your pick. For company, it was my pleasure to sup with the outlaws, the deranged, and the unwanted. It's simply unthinkable that I never met a nice girl to settle down with, isn't it? It won't be like this forever. I'm gonna build my palace someday. Been planning it since I was small and found myself on my own. Imagine with me, if you will, a vast span of wood above you in the trees. That's the foundation.
Ah.
You ascend a tremendous spiral staircase around an ancient trunk and find yourself approaching a treehouse worthy of the first ones. Dozens of lavish bedrooms. Two stocked kitchens, tall spires, a tower that looks out over all of Ogham, and half a Farrell for good measure. Isn't it glorious? That's where I really live. This cold, damp, hungry world is just an illusion.
Nice. Nice. He's got big dreams. Hopefully he lives to see them through.
Hello.
What about Finn?
He wears an eloquent mask of words. I doubt anyone here has seen what lies beneath. For many summers, I watched him cut smooth circles around the village square, moving from partner to partner, as if he was attending one of those famed eternal masquerades. Always masked. Always pretending to be something he wasn't. Never serious. It's a shame, because when a masquerade ends, everybody that is real goes home. But he'll still be dancing, masked and alone.
She sees the world differently than others.
Stay safe, if you can.
Renly.
Here are your spikes, but be cautious. They stayed warm after forging, no matter how many times I quenched them. I would ask what you need these for, but I'm putting my trust in you.
Really? Look at me. Do you trust me? Alright, what does it say? Together the runes are an oath of peaceful passage and a request.
My will now.
Together the runes are an oath of peaceful passage and request for freedom in pursuit of an important cause. Isn't that right, Witch?
Find a pint out there. Don't bring it back.
I'm putting this back on. The other thing looked dumb. If you find a pint out there, remember to bring it back.
Take a look.
Alright, let's sell all of these things. I should probably also disenchant some of them, but let's...
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Renly's done a fine job forging those spikes. Meet me at the Tree of Souls.
Alright. Can do. Let's disenchant these, though. Should I disenchant that for a regal shard? Nah.
Stay safe, if you can.
I do need to sell this one also.
Finmay. Oh, I like this one. Goodbye.
So we'll just throw that in there. For when I play a warrior. Okay. Exciting. So we're done with the Red Veil. We don't need to go there. So we're going to go to the tree. And we're going to do the thing at the tree. We're going to use the spikes on the tree. Doesn't seem safe. Roots are still impassable, so use the rune spikes. Okay. Runic seal. Ah, okay. We actually need to use them.
What happened here?
Boss fight? Go away.
I am the apex.
No, maybe not. He's not looking too good, whoever he is.
He's unconscious, but he's breathing. Though, this wound. We should take him back to Clearfell. He may be the only one who knows what truly happened out here.
Yeah, who or what is this guy? I don't know. Very sinister looking. He kind of reminds me of the oh man, who's the boss? There were like multiple bosses of the Atlas throughout the original game's development cycle. The Atlas is basically the end game. It's the Atlas of Worlds. It's the system of interlinked worlds that you can navigate using maps, which basically create these mini worlds that you go into and clear and defeat the boss of, and slowly but surely you make your way through the Atlas towards the center. It's a really cool system. It was a lot of fun. Just wish it wasn't scaled for the 1% of players that know how to break the game. But the main bosses of the Atlas, there were like, I think 3 or 4 throughout the development cycle. And this kind of looks like 2 of them. I forget their names. I think one of them was called the Devourer. He was this black-robed eldritch thing. The Shaper, that was the other one. It was a hooded figure. But they had like a beard. And I can't remember what happened to him. Anyways, let's talk to Una here.
The wound. It should be fatal, but somehow he clings to life. I fear it will not be long until his song ends. He will never heal while the Count's binding still holds sway.
Okay.
Only by a Count's hand can this binding be released. I know an old tale. One that speaks of a ring we might be able to recover, buried 3 centuries ago in our ancient graveyard. A Count's signet ring, bearing his rune of authority. But how to reach it in time?
How to indeed.
Tangle.
Ah.
Overgrown sinkholes and gullies that run beneath Ogham can lead you there. The path is dangerous, but go back to the Grellwood, find the entrance. We shall see if the spirits of this land still have the will to see you through.
Cemetery of the Eternals.
The graves of our people lie beneath the Eternals' tombs. Despite their best efforts to bury our legacy, we remain. Now they are gone, and we live on.
Yep.
This is the cycle of life as we have always known it. Everyone dies, but the clan endures, and the greatest glory an Ezomite can attain is to live on in a song or a poem.
Awesome.
That is why we do not fight the wood and stone to reclaim our buried graves. And it is something the Eternals never understood. We don't need the graves. We still have the songs and the stories that matter. They could never take those from us.
Very cool to learn more about the Ezomites. They were quite mysterious in the base game, because the Path of Exile 1, I shouldn't say base game. In PoE 1, the story very much focused around the Eternals and the Karui, with Oriathans also being in the mix. And you got a little bit from the Kema? No, they're called the Marrakesh, not the Sakema. Yeah, the Marrakesh. They're the like Middle Eastern, the more Amazer, especially now that I remember the name, inspired people. So if you play the Sorceress, you play as one of them. You got a little bit about them in the PoE 1, but the Ezomites were, yeah, always kind of remained elusive. You learned a bit here and there, but there's a few cultures that I feel like, you know, would be very interesting to learn more of. The Ezomites, the Ezomiri, the Val, especially the Val, the precursors to the Eternals, who also discovered something and had something terrible happen to them as a result of discovering that thing. Basically, the Eternals did the same thing the Val did in ages past. Arguably worse, though. Anyways, so we know what we need to do. We need to go to the Tangle, the Grim Tangle, and now we should be able to get through those routes. So that's great. However, we're going to do that in the next episode because this one is long enough. So if you have enjoyed this, drop this video a like. If it gets a decent reception, I will play all the way through the 3 acts, and then we'll see from there what I do. Otherwise, consider this kind of like a little introduction to Path of Exile. If you enjoy the game, you know, you can always buy into early access. It'll you basically pay and you get microtransaction points that you can spend on, you know, cosmetics. That sounds a bit scummy, but it's fine in this case. It's not terribly expensive, and you get access to the game right now. Otherwise, the game will be free when it goes into full release. So either way, if you're into the game, you'll be able to get your hands on it either now or eventually. So yeah, that will be all for today. Drop this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new for a little bit more Path of Exile content. And in case you want to check out some of my other content, I have an Elden Ring DLC playthrough and a Rogue Trader playthrough currently going, along with a few other playthroughs that have been completed on the channel. So they all have a similar focus on lore and storytelling and that type of fun stuff. Righto, Heritor out.